Hey, am I really here? It sounds like I'm live. Guys, thanks for stopping by. You're not going to believe this, but I'm in Bangkok right now. Obviously, you just see a wall behind you, so it's hard to prove it. But if you guys followed my Instagram, maybe you'd see that I post photos over there. Because, when you're traveling and you have like a specific genre of video like I do, right? Basically, I review people's English, you know what I mean? So it's like I could be anywhere. And where I am doesn't really matter to your guys' viewing experience because, I'm making videos about what I do. You guys know who I am, right? But I'm just taking a little time off to have a little different conversation than normal because first of all, obviously, making videos about famous people's English is, it's its thing, and I don't want to overdo it just both personally and for my own creativity. I hope to give you guys a whole plethora of experiences, if you know what I mean. And one of the coolest things I think that I could do is just, talk English to you in an honest fashion, unscripted, just kind of give you some real thoughts of something happening real time. Because I'm trying one, I'm always trying to be of value to everybody that's learning English. And two, I really think a lot of the bullshit out there is just like fake, like you guys are learning a fake English when you watch these skits and stuff. Like not every time, but a lot of times. And it's like hard to kind of smell bullshit if you're not really sure what bullshit smells like. You know what I mean? Like you go out and you really talk to people and you can tell that the people that really speak English, and the people that don't speak English really don't speak English. And it becomes apparent really quick, especially when you're in a foreign country and you're just talking to somebody. I was like, okay, this guy doesn't speak English. That's fine. There's no problem. I'm the visitor. Maybe I should be learning their language, right? But my God, it's so difficult to learn another language, isn't it? Especially just simple shit, especially when you've never heard like, Thai before. Like it's crazy. Like maybe if I just focused on learning Thai, that I'd learn it, right? Here's the thing, I don't want to learn Thai, you know? Took me a long time to learn Japanese. 今でもなんかね、なんか勉強があるって感じだよね。日本語で喋りたいなっていうちょっと気持ちがありますね。わかるかな？どうしてもなんかこの第二言語で喋りたいっていうね。はい。そうでいくぶ。なんつってか。で、これでだって問題になりますね。結局みんなと英語で喋りたいという、目標なんですけれども、こうやってコメント読まないといけないのみたいなね。で、俺の日本語そんなにパーフェクトじゃないから、さわでいあいや、今読めた。ちょっとタイ語ですね。サワリカーみたいなね。なんか合ってるかどうかわかんないですけれども、ハムケツ、どうも。Hey, what's up? Welcome to another live edition. Trying to do these more often, but thanks for coming by. How's it going? Oh, look, that's another name I recognize too. It's going well. I'm here in Bangkok right now, and it's so fucking hot outside. So it's like people just stay indoors all day long, and like it's crazy. Like you literally see it. Like the streets are just empty, but they're full of kind of like these like vendors, people selling the most random shit. I'm in Chinatown right now, so it's like people just selling stuff, like DVDs, like literally DVDs. And I saw a pile of DVDs, and there's this TV show called Lie to Me, and I was like, wait a second, I recognize that. And it's this TV show based on a detective who can read people's facial expressions to tell if they're lying. So I was like, this is a pretty amazing DVD find. Maybe I should buy it, right? But like, you really think I'm gonna buy a DVD on the sidewalk of Bangkok in the middle of Chinatown? Like, it's just so like amazing to think that somebody would buy that DVD, and it's amazing to think that somebody would sell that DVD. But here we are making life decisions, aren't we? Um, Yeah. How can we tell BS English? Good question. The only way to find out is if you talk to 1,000 people yourself, and then you'll just know, like when somebody can kind of like really speak, and then somebody's kind of really faking it. So, yeah, I mean, really faking it, but like there's enough people that kind of like fake it, and there's only so much you can fake, and so it's just like, okay, yeah, cool, you do speak English, yeah, but what I'm saying a lot of times is that the lessons that you're getting from other sources, and I'm not going to name any names, but they're of dubious intent, if you will, because I don't want to make drama with everybody here, but I am trying to help. Trust me. So yeah, it's before we go down a rabbit hole, but it's just kind of like, man, these English lessons you guys are watching aren't really helpful. And I don't know how else to explain it. It's like it's not real. And the actors within them, are like writing the material, and it may or may not be accurate, I could make a whole series on this, right? But you see what happens when I start taking other people's video and kind of like critiquing them honestly, uh, they get angry, that I'm exposing the secrets kind of thing. And it's like, look, nobody gets fluent by just watching videos. The only way you're going to get fluent is you go out there and talk to 1,000 people. And I'll say that 1,000 times until you get it. But, I've done the work. I've talked to like 1,000, maybe 10,000, maybe 100,000 people. I'm not really sure. I haven't been really counting, but I know a lot of you guys have not been talking to people. And I know this because I talk to people, ironically enough. And so I think at the bare minimum right now, I can give you guys some real time, like conversational level thinking in English because I know what you guys need, and you guys just need to talk in English. You need to think in English, and you need to be exposed to what it actually sounds like when somebody's actually speaking English honestly to you guys. So, Thailand. Despite, yeah, it's well, I have so many opinions of Thailand because there's so many different things going on. I don't understand the language, so it's just like you have to kind of like read faces, right? And you see some like guy, like a tuk-tuk driver, and he's got a little smile on his face, and yeah, like there is like an overall pleasant feeling um from the scene. But then there's always a lot of tourists here too, so it's just kind of like, hey, are they from Thai? Are they from China? Are they from Vietnam? And then you have to listen. And you're like, okay, I know that's Vietnamese, for example. But you're like, oh wait, is that Thailand? Is that Thai? Thai? What do you call it? Thai? Is that Thai? I was gonna say Thaiglish, but but is that Thai? Yeah, it's not. No, it's Chinese. Like I don't know. I don't speak those languages, so it's just interesting to kind of like determine what country somebody's from. And then obviously the English, I hear the English and I know exactly what's up, right? And then I just wonder what those people, because all the tourists here, they look the same. They have the same pants on and the same shirt, the same look on their face, the same fanny packs. They got like the dad with them. Like it's so like it's so stereotypical that it's just funny to see. And then you see like the backpacker type. There's always a fucking backpacker. Sorry, I just have to laugh at it because, like, I like the traveling backpacker is so quintessentially like you have to have at least one backpacker in your background shot when you're taking a photo. I swear, it's just comically accurate. Like there is no better kind of like quintessential picture of Bangkok for me than like a tuk tuk and like a tourist. Like it's just the most this the most typical picture you could imagine. So yeah, great, good. I'm glad you can enjoy it. But yeah, 1000人より1000人だよね. Yeah, exactly. Like it's hopefully, and I will repeat myself 1,000 times, but with language, it's invisible, right? Like it's not something that you read or write, it's something that you listen to. And when you do listen to a good story or you do listen to like a coherent story about anything, what happens is while you're listening, you should be able to imagine, at least in your imagination, what I'm talking about, right? So if I say Thailand and you've never been to Thailand, your brain is going to populate that image somehow with whatever information you have in your memory banks, right? And if you've never been to Thailand, maybe like, well, I've been to China, so maybe it looks like that, right? But if you've never been to China, then you're like, well, I've been to Vietnam, so maybe it looks like that, right? And then you're like, well, good, okay. I've never been to any of those countries. How can I possibly picture what he's talking about? And then maybe you've seen a video. In comes the internet, right? So a lot of people get the images in their head through what I'm saying. But the amazing thing about listening to a story is the way the human brain populates what the sounds that I'm saying with images. So, what you guys are actually hearing and what I'm actually saying, there could be a gap because you're not understanding what I'm saying, for example, or you're not understanding the details, like you missed who the main character is. That's always a problem when I speak Japanese. It's 集合は何ですかね俺だってアホって言ったやん。俺あまあ、だから君はアホって言ったでしょなんか、俺みたいな、集合は何ですかみたいなね。よく混乱するから、俺はね。日本語で話すとね。はい。だって、日本語は第二言語やから。だから君たちも同じ問題じゃないですか。逆に考えると、俺ずっと英語で喋ってて、何の話してんのみたいなね、ことになると思うんだよね。You guys lose the plot. Well, not that I couldn't lose the plot. Again, I'm trying not to speak in Japanese, if that makes any sense. I could do it all day. I just don't know if it's interesting for anybody. So, long as we have katakana, we're screwed. I agree. I totally agree. The katakana katana is like to call it. It just cuts. It just cuts through the ear, and it's okay. It's not the end of the world. I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but I really felt when I was in Vietnam, especially the way it's like either you speak English or you don't, right? And then there's that third kind of category where it's like the people are learning English, right? And so, like, like I just remember in Vietnam, just like I don't understand what you're saying. Sorry. Um, and I know it's a pronunciation issue. I already know this because I know language enough. Um, unfortunately, I don't know your language, and I can't express that, right? Because they don't speak English, right? So it just becomes this like weird little arm wrestling match when you're traveling around the world, right? Like, do I have to take the time to get out a dictionary and explain exactly what I'm thinking, or can I just learn how to sum everything up with like Sadi cop. I think that's how you say it, but that's what it sounds like when I hear it. So I'm like, okay, I at least understand one word, and they understand when I say hot coffee, and I point at the menu, and then they say like, "Well, 5 minutes." I'm like, "Yeah, dude, totally cool with me. I will wait 5 minutes for a cup of hot coffee any day, right? Like, no problem there." But they say it with this like, I don't know, I could be having if I really spoke my mind, but I hold back. I don't speak my mind because they don't need to know every single detail of what's going on in my head. But coming back full circle, Japanese could also get confused with sentences now and then. Yeah, it's a problem. It's an issue. I don't feel too bad about it because like it's either me pay attention or not. And if I'm not paying attention, and I have just reason, maybe for example, one of the reasons why I lose the plot is for me, it's not. You guys, I believe, have like the problem with like pronunciation. So it's like you'd actually know the word if I wrote it, but like you didn't hear it when I said it, kind of problem. But my problem is I just don't know the word. Like in Japanese, like it's like okay, like insurance or something like that, some like complicated word, right? Like that's my problem. It's like I hear the word and it's just like I don't know that word. 何々を探してるとかさ. So different levels, I guess, create different problems. But the thing is, like, I know when I'm speaking in Japanese to somebody and they say something that I don't understand, I can say, Hey, ちょっと待って、あれって保証人って何ですかって、ね、確認できるから、もうちょっと優しい言い方してくれませんかみたいなね、分かってない瞬間すぐ分かるからね、俺、ね、日本語で話すとね。だから、まあ、全然怖くない。ね。日本に行って、喋れるからね、どこでも行っても。でも、バンコクにいるから、まあ、やっぱ英語通じないから、まあ、通じるところもあるし、通じないところもあるし、逆に俺、バンコク、タイ語に興味全くないから、なんだろうね、あの、難しい、なんていう、シチュエーションがいらないって感じこれ何本ですかみたいなね。なんか、だって値段がわかんないし、バットの価値わかんないし、だって100バットですって100円ですかね。でも100円じゃないらしいよね。だって100バットイコールみたいな、まあドルで考えてるか円で考えてる、よく混乱するし、まあまあまあまあまあ、本当に経験だよね。海外旅行って。ね。でもまあ喋れなくてしょうがないって感じやけどね。More like a bohemian. Maybe that's the type people. Do you think that egos are general? So it depends on the person. And irony is everywhere. Like that's what I'm saying. だから俺先輩だよ。俺も学生って感じですね。俺も、勉強中って感じですね。まあ、英語勉強してないし、日本語をもうずっと勉強してるんですけれども、なんか日本語で話す機会がなくて、ね、最近。だってタイにいるから、ベトナムにいるから、ね、ね、どうしようね、話す相手がいないなって、だって日本語で喋りたいなっていう気持ちあるよ、俺でも。ね、楽しいから。ね。でも、本当に、まあ、しょうがないじゃんって感じ。俺、日本語を忘れないと思うから、そんなに焦ってないと思うんだけど、なんか、まあ、今タイに行って、こっから動画作ってるよね。まあ、この間の、誰だっけ、ニューボートさんみたいなね、なんかヨーロッパ人みたいな名前してるから、ほんまにアメリカ人ですかねと思って。でもわかんないじゃん。名前だけ聞くと、なんかヨーロッパ人じゃないのって感じ。日本人じゃないしって感じ。でも彼の名前で聞くと、完全にアメリカ人じゃないですかってね、バレた。ね、このルーバートさんみたいなね。だからまあ、動画作れる。ね、全然ね。タイに行っても、日本に行ってもね。ただ、I cannot catch what the taxi driver said, parking. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Accent is everything, and either you're used to the accent or you're not. And so that's what I'm saying. When I went to Vietnam, it was 俺が慣れて、まあ、カタカナ英語に慣れてるから、なんか、問題ない。でね。でも、ベトナム英語慣れてなくて、なんか、うわ何の話してるんですかって、I'm sorry, can you say that again? みたいな、What? とかさ、ごめんね、みたいなベトナム語を勉強する暇っていうか、暇じゃないよね。だから、なんていう、desire？ 興味は正直ないんですよね。十分忙しいから。だって、第二言語の、辛さ分かっとるから、もういいって感じですね。もう十分日本語で頭いっぱいやから、なんかベトナム語の、辛さもいりませんって感じですね。はい。で、そうだね。Yeah, Thailand. Well, you got to go. ATS, am I stoned? I would say no. But I've definitely how do you say indulged and I know the feeling that you're talking about and I would say definitely not right now. Not at all because I think for me, what happens, I get very meditative. So, and when I'm meditative, I don't talk. So, and if I do express myself, it's through pictures. I could show you, but like it's not now. there's a time, there's a time for living and there's a time for dying. You know what I mean? And this is not that time. So, after a few months of being stationed in Bangkok, I heard and so she my mind maybe happier than interesting. Yeah, see, that's just the thing is that once you begin to travel, um, you feel things. And I don't know how else to explain it, but it's really weird, but you just feel connected or not connected with where you are sometimes. And I think a lot of people in this day and age, I don't know if this is evolution or what, but like everybody grows up more or less like in one hometown, you know what I mean? There might be a few examples of some like rich family that gets to travel around the world, you know what I mean? And live in different countries and stuff like that and experience it firsthand, you know? Um, and that's, pure amazingness, like I would love to travel around the world, with kids and stuff like that, but one step at a time, right? Just my fantasy is very global, I don't believe in staying in your hometown. I believe that everybody should leave their hometown immediately after high school. If I could make a rule, which I can't, but if I could, I would say everybody on the planet should do 1 year off where they travel the world in between high school and college. I think that would be, and by travel the world, I mean just go where you want. It doesn't have to be around the world because it can be very stressful to go from country to country. And so you'd have to really either have a lot of money saved up or you have to figure out how to work while you go. And that is complicated. So I can see how it's hard for a lot of people. I mean, if you have rich parents, then congratulations, you do whatever the fuck you want. For me, I didn't have rich parents, so I had to sacrifice. I say I saved up my money for 2 years, but like really, I worked like 40 hours a week to live in Japan the first time, and I paid like $5,000 to do an exchange program, but it was worth it. So it's like, if you can live in another country, do it, do it, do it, do it. And I can't recommend it enough. Like if you have a friend in a country and they're like, oh, yeah, it's good, like listen up. Maybe that's your heart telling you something, like it's like, oh, well, maybe there is a better place because you don't know till you try it. You don't know till you actually get somewhere and you feel 35 degrees in the middle of the afternoon underneath a tarp. You're like, maybe I don't like Thailand, you know? You don't know until you try it. But then some people might be like, no, I love Thailand at nighttime. Like you stay indoors during the day, but at nighttime, that's when you go out. And it's like, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense because at nighttime, Thailand looks really fun. Like, I really mean it. Like, there's just, like, street food everywhere and, like, people drinking and stuff like that, like, the lights and stuff. It looks really fun to hang out here at nighttime, and I've gone out a few nights, and it's just like, "Wow, this is really cool. What an experience," right? So, just depends on how often you wanna repeat an experience in life, And, if living in another country, I mean, you get to experience it, 1 day, 2 day, 30 days, 60 days, you know what I mean? That's a long time. So it's like, get out there and do it. Just do it, do it, do it. Oh man. Oh, curry. I love curry. Tell me to be is way to learn a language. Yeah, we gotta let go of that perfectionism, and you just gotta get into the mode of just thinking or something like that. Just like again, like in all reality, right? 今ね、日本語で考えてますね。今はね、さっき英語で考えてたんですけれども、俺が、まあ、なんて言えばいいかな、完璧、パーフェクトな日本語じゃないじゃん。ね。それでも、まあ、練習できる一人でも、今みたいに。ね。で、フィードバックがなくても、俺、まあ、一人でこうやってまあ、ブラブラブラってできるんだよね。日本語で。ね。楽しくないけどね。でもできるよね。だからまあ、日本語で話すんだったら、まあ、誰かと話すって感じですね。So, of course, again, I'm not making this video for me to practice my Japanese. Not that I'm practicing, just saying that like I just enjoy it as an art, for my mind to think in Japanese. It's a beautiful art. I call it Gendol. 本当だよ。 俺作ったなんか、なんていう、哲学そうだね。俺、今書くね。えっと、わかったわかった。だって自分で作った単語やから、こうやってね、ちょっとアホに見えるかもね。でも、ちょっと待ってくださいね。だって俺、日本語で書けるっていう、そう、俺が言語っていう、言語、アホや。言、はい、それで、道を、えー作りました。ね、だって剣道、茶道みたいなのあるじゃん。で、俺、じゃあ言動はどうなんかね、同じだよみたいなね。だって、なんか、まあ、道って道やろだから、まあ、剣道とかさ、the way of the fist or whatever, right? そう、茶道ね、なんか way of the tea だよね。でも、すべての道が結局、同じところ行くんじゃないですか、悟り。違うかでも、本当にそう思うんだよね。で、言動のプラクティスが練習が必要ですね。それで、まあ、第二言語で練習する、まあ、ゲームって感じですよね。結局すべてゲームだからね。だからみんななんか、まあ、剣道を勉強するか、それとも言動って感じですね。でも、道を選べないといけないですね。で、言動の道が、まあ、決まってるからね。どうやってバイリングルになるかって。決まってるからね。そんな謎々の話じゃないと思うんですね。あ、そっか、俺、日本語で考えてるね。My whole point is to talk to you guys in English. So it's like if you guys want to speak English, right, you just simply do the three steps. And it really summarized by just listening to 1,000 people for 1,000 hours. And then after you listen to 1,000 people for 1,000 hours, you start speaking to people for 1,000 hours. It's pretty simple. It's just like give and take. It's like yin and yang. It's just listen and speak. It's just night and day. It's, like I could keep going, but it's that easy where you just literally listen for 1,000 hours. And then somewhere along the way, you get the urge to speak. And then when you start speaking, you just keep speaking, and then when you're done speaking by yourself, you're like, okay, I'm going to go practice. And so you go out into the world and you practice. You practice the little phrase that you rehearsed, the Muslim manaji hanado morayo. I practiced that line so many times. And like, I think I say it pretty good, but like, I might have forgot. But whatever, it's all about rehearsal. So you guys got to get out there into real world experiences and actually talk to 1,000 people. But you just don't do it. You watch 1,000 videos, and this isn't how you do it. Like there comes a point where you must leave the nest, young Padawan. You must leave the school. The master cannot teach you anymore. You must discover that you are the master of your own destiny and you are the master of your own mind. Therefore, you must leave the teacher. You must leave the video. You must leave YouTube and you must walk the world and you must talk to people. That is the only path forward. And I would say it so many times, but leave your schools, leave your teachers, go out into the world and have conversations with people. I guarantee you, you will speak English. 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Oh boy. My English, thank you. I know it's good. There are many Japanese families living there, and you can, yeah, yeah. So, it just becomes a matter of like focus. Like there are a lot of Japanese in Bangkok. It's just like, how could I be of service? What do I want to do? And of course, I like meeting Japanese people and I like helping them, like, and, that's why I've kind of developed this system with my app and stuff like that. But, I really want to give something of value. And so basically, right now we're talking, and the subject is, should I go back to Tokyo? All this conversation was about me going back to Tokyo, and I can't find a reason to go back to Tokyo. Can you guys find a reason I should go to Tokyo? Like I like Kyoto better, so it'd be cool to go to Kyoto. But I noticed that on Airbnb right now, this is like the app that I've been using for a lot of where I've been staying. On Airbnb, Japan's booked. Like it's pretty. There's not a lot of things available right now in Japan, and what is available is like pretty dingy, and it's like, oh my god, I can't believe um, they have this level of apartment still available in Japan. I don't want to call it a slum, but wow, this is an old building, and this old building. I mean, it is cheap. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like, so it's like, you want to find something of a decent like quality. Like here, I'm in Thailand, and it's just like, what did I pay? Like a $180 or something, really cheap, you know. So I have a really decent room, and I'm satisfied because like it's just basic. I just need to think here and sleep here, and I'm cool, right? And it's decently clean, like with a nice shower, beautiful toilet, privacy, little balcony, cool little view. I mean, like I'm stoked. It's just that like I can't stay here too long because the visa, and so I'm just getting a little tired of like having to jump from place to place. Basically, in the coming few days, my app is going to get fixed. And once the app is fixed, I'm going to really start making a lot of videos. But basically, until the app is fixed, I can't make the videos. So I'm really stuck in a loop. And so it's just like, should I just keep staying here, or do I have any reason to go to Tokyo? I don't know. So I just said it. Maybe you guys are listening. Maybe you're not. Hopefully, you are listening because that's where my mind is. And I appreciate anybody listening up to this point. Again, just trying to give some real world live streaming, real world thoughts as they're happening in my mind, just so you have something, right? Because a lot of the videos I do aren't about me or not about you, right? I'm talking about such and such a famous person, but both of us learn when we do something like that, like when we have a conversation through a video. It's interesting. But the most dynamic thing that you could possibly be doing is having an actual conversation. And so and this is the balance point, I guess, of everything is that, it's hard for me to have a conversation with one person when I could be having a conversation with like thousands of people. It's like, uh, even though there's only 23 people here, I'm saying through the videos, I can have a conversation with 1,000 people. And I really enjoy being able to make cool videos for you guys. But as of right now, because the app is not done, I am waiting to finish the app. And unfortunately, the app is being developed by a developer, and he keeps uploading it to Apple, and Apple keeps rejecting it. So every time Apple rejects it, he takes more time to fix it. And then sometimes he's like, that's going to cost you more money. And it's just like, dude, okay, all right, all right, how much do I owe you? Like, because like developers are not cheap, right? And so basically, it's been the stupidest story on the planet. I don't know if I've explained the story about the app and getting it ready for you guys, but it's taking forever. And I'm, in a sense, going a bit crazy because all of my creative energy has went into the app and creating it, and all of my creative energy is going into promoting the app, and that means sharing it with you. And I really want you guys to download it, but it needs to basically be balanced in a way that I can make a living and give enough people value, right? And so, long story short, it's going to be a free app. It's coming soon. I mean, it is available now if you look for it. But like, what you guys are going to get in the future is this version of the app where it's free. Like you can search for English HD kara furigana, right? And you can make a flashcard thing. And there's a few kind of like sample lessons on there, but if you decide that you're like, oh, this color system is really cool, this color system is really amazing. If you decide that you want to learn the color system, which is really simple if you just get my course, then you can do a subscription or a lifetime option. But that's definitely an option. It is for people that actually want to learn American pronunciation and for people that want to learn like American 英語の省略パターン. It's for people that want to learn California English basically. If that's really what you want to do, then I have a course that you can get, right? But that's an option. So I really genuinely believe in the power of my app and my courses, and I would offer it to every human being learning English. And so that's like a billion people. And like, if anybody was learning English, my recommendation would be my app because it's a dictionary, which is the only book you need if you're going to learn English. Because everybody could basically take the basic English course, and get it done in 3 months if you really focus, right? So you go to class, you have a teacher for 3 months, learn the basics for 3 months. That's it. That's all you need to do. And then after that, you graduate and you go into the world and take your master exam, your final exam. And your final exam is senin down there. The final boss is a boss of 1,000 faces. And the 1,000 faces that you're going to run into are in the world. They're not videos. They're out there in real world cities, in cafes, in train stations. The boss that you're going to face in the future is out there somewhere. And you're going to talk to the boss and you're going to challenge that boss in English to a conversation. And we don't word it like that, like, ooh, challenge, but that's what it is for you as you're learning English. You challenge yourself to talk to somebody in English, even though you have no reason to do so. You create the reason to do so. If you have to join a yoga class that's taught in English in order to get more experience in English, and you have somebody to talk to, then do it. Because I would say that there's enough like foreigners living in Tokyo or Osaka and Kyoto, right? That they begin to take how do you say life enriching experiences along with whatever they're doing, so a lot of people take yoga classes, right, just for their general health. And if you like yoga and some speaking person living in your neighborhood likes yoga, they might go to the local yoga class room. And that is a good place to blend your hobbies with your language, right? Because you see somebody new and you're like, oh, you're a foreigner. um, when did you get here? That's exactly what I would say. If I was going to a class and somebody's in my neighborhood and like I feel like a local at this yoga class, right? I would know when the new person's here, right? I gotta look at the new person, right? It looks like a foreigner to me. I would say hi. It's just how I am as a neighbor, right? Um, like I think a lot of people would agree that's like a fair and cool thing to do. To say hi to your neighbors, especially if you live in a neighborhood, right? So I, it just boggles my mind that like I know that you guys have 1,000 faces that you need to challenge yourself against, right? When you walk this path of the Gendel, ne? But seriously, your master, the end boss, is 1,000 people. ね、1000人だね。1000人より1000人だからさ. So once you guys beat the boss, and what do I mean by beat the boss? I mean, it's like once you've talked to 1,000 people, you'll understand what I'm saying right now is that like you graduated, now you're talking to people, now you understand exactly what you need to understand, no more, no less, and that's it. You feel satisfied or you don't. And if you feel satisfied, you may need to talk to people, you may not need to talk to people. It's up to you because like you're in control now, right? You're no longer worried about like, do I speak enough English? It's like, oh no, I speak English. What do you do with it from there? Like you go out there and you use it. That's just as simple as it is. I got a text from one of my students and he's like, I don't see the practical application of this. I'm like, well, the practical application is, well, what I did, I said, hey, well, do you have anybody to talk to? And he's like, no, I'm practicing by myself. I'm like, okay, here's the practical application of my course. Go out and talk to 1,000 people. Like, what other purpose are we learning the language for if it's not to talk to people, right? So it all comes full circle. You don't need a course, you don't need a school, right? You don't need to pay a person for a lesson. Like if you go out there with my app, You just talk to somebody, and as soon as you don't understand what they're saying, you just look it up in the dictionary. 英辞書になってるし、英は和英辞書になってるから、ね、俺のアプリ結構勉強になるんですよ。ね。なんか困った瞬間に俺のアプリを開いて、単語を検索して、意味をちょっとね、勉強して、で、そこから、単語帳を作る。まあ、俺のアプリね、まあ、今ね、シェアできるんですけれども、like I was saying, it's not complete yet. So all the things that I want to say, I can't say. I feel stuck. If I could do coding by myself, I would. I did my own website before, but it's like I'm not going to learn to code, guys. I'm sorry. So many people have been asking about the app and like when am I going to finish and stuff. I'm like, dude, it's like I'm not a programmer. I can't do it. I could learn, but boy, I've spent a lot of time learning YouTube. I've spent lot of light learn a lot of time learning how to make my color system. Like, no, like I invented the color system by myself, and that took a lot of time, though, which is an interesting story. But like, let's not get too caught into it. All right, so let's look at a few other things here before we get going here. Differs from person to person. Exactly. Like you should talk to somebody that's not been to college yet. That's funny. Um, okay, so is Thailand safe? I would say so. I haven't felt that it's just a matter of just getting lost and stuff. Like, do you feel comfortable with the ATM? Like the only time I don't feel safe is like it feels like when I feel like, oh, I don't know how much this cost. But that was when I first got here because like I just didn't know what 1,000 baht felt like. So I'm like, oh, that sounds like a lot of money. But then like, oh, it's like $30. Okay. I guess it's worth it, right? So that kind of feeling of uncertainty, that's like the unsafest I felt when I just didn't feel comfortable with the number system here. But you go, you look it up online and you get familiar with it, you know? So you don't feel unsafe, for us to explain my books to everybody every time it's really fun. As long as you, and then as long as you're having fun. I mean, if you have friends, like that's like the true victory, because like you get to share in a conversation about a topic or something. Hopefully, you're friends for a reason, right? Like you can share in conversations and curiosities and interests, right? Like I think that is one of the core fundamental principles of what makes friends friends is they share similar interests and jokes and stuff like that. So it doesn't matter what it is because like if you're into books and stuff and your friends are into books, great. Because I don't I stopped talking about books ever since like I got into learning YouTube. It's crazy. But like I mean I've read a lot of books, don't get me wrong. But again, I just have the feeling of like graduation where I'm at a point in my life where I've read enough, I've seen enough. I just need to create and I need to create and I need to create and I need to create more. But it's hard to create when you're not basically being able to promote the thing that you created. Like it's weird. Like, but anyway, any day now, any day. Like it's a different person. Yeah, we are. Yeah, this guy says, awesome. I was impressed. Well, thank you very much. I wish that I with the app, I'm gonna talk about my 3-step method more. Make more videos about it. But it's true. Like basically, you guys just gotta quit school, get out there and talk to real people. It's really you can do a lot by yourself. You don't need to pay for schools. And the irony is, yes, I do offer courses and stuff like that, but it's for very, very limited, special few people that actually want to learn California English. You know what I mean? Like and hey, I do not want to learn California English. I prefer British English. Like, okay, great. You do you, man. Like, I'm just saying that you got to choose one of the accents, and basically just mimic it. It's that simple. But hey, whatever. Again, like I know how to learn a language. And like one of the best lessons I ever had was the Kansai book that I got. So, まあ、この話、ちょっと3ステップ学習法でやるんですけれども、Yeah, I learned Kansai Ben. That's what taught me. That was the amazing thing. And if it wasn't for a Kansai Ben book that I bought, そうだよね、関西弁の教科書を買って、本当に俺の世界観が変わりました。あの一つの本だけで。日本語、じゃあ教科書で習った日本語は、まあ、そうですねみたいな、そうじゃないみたいなね。でも、なんか関西行くと、そうやんとかあるよみたいな、そういう説明が書いてあった。ね。そうだろうイコール、関西では、そうやろで、それを読んで、そうなんや。だってその例文も書いてあったよ。そうなんや。で、俺もちょっと使ってみて、あ、そうなんや。やっぱ、みんな使っとったよな、舞鶴で。そんなんやん。まあ、そういうね、そういう人もいるよね、みたいなね。ほんま？で、ほんまって、ああ、そっか、本当よりほんまって言うんですかって、それ書いて、まあ、舞鶴に出て、いや、みんなほんまって言うから、あ、これ勉強になるよね。この関西弁の教科書勉強になりますね、みたいなね。これ使える。この標準語的な教科書意味なくないって感じですね。まあ、意味あるんやけどね。でも卒業って感じですね。はい。Anyway, ramen. Ooh, yeah, I had ramen last night actually. And it's all right, whatever. It's weird because like you go around, you see the street stall with the street food. Some the cheap looking stuff looks really cheap, if you know what I mean. Kind of like, oh, maybe it's dirty kind of thing. I don't know. But then a lot of people sitting there eating it, so you just have to assume everything's safe or whatever, that it's clean and stuff like that. So there's a lot of faith going on out there. But yeah, the ramen's all right. Nothing too special, I don't think. Um, and it's hot too, so it's like don't want to eat ramen too much. So, まあ、だってもう俺はね、暑い天気でラーメン食いたくないからね。まあ、that's me. But anyway, so yeah, you can always talk to your dog. I guess that's oh yeah, but yeah, well, he does look at you with his eyes, and it is possible because like Americans talk to the dogs all the time in English. So hey, what are you looking at? とか so maybe you can make a comedy in your head, like having the amazing conversations with your dog in English, right? And the truth is, your dog speaks English, not Japanese. Crazy, I don't know. But that's the plot, and you can take it from there. Wow, you really like this live chat? I agree in a sense that I like it as well. Only just because I can't escape my mind. I have to deal with it. But I have been trying to focus my mind in a way that's useful for everybody. And I believe I found it. I really think I have found how I can be useful for a lot of people. And I think that I can teach a million people English, really through my app, right? But in the meantime, it's really, I just share it as it's happening now. Is that my app is not done right now. And maybe some of you guys will remember this conversation in the future, maybe some of you won't. But you will see me create a lot of videos about the app in the future as soon as it's done. So I hope that you watch those videos. And I hope that I do it in a way that is really balanced because nobody's looking up on the internet. 甲斐先輩、今何知ってるやろ何やってるやろねみたいなね。Nobody's looking up my name on the internet. Nobody cares about Kai Senpai. So it's like I try not to make videos that are about me because nobody cares. Nobody's asking where am I from, how old I am. Nobody cares. Like I have a certain self um, awareness. I think that I if there's no reason to make a video about me. right now, because nobody cares, and that's okay. I can't imagine why anybody would want to know more about me. So, I mean, if you ask me a question, I will answer it, but like, it's just not a popular question, if you know what I mean. Um, Kind of the game is answering the most frequently asked questions in a way that actually helps people, you know? And a lot of people are asking the question in their mind, at least, is like, how do I become bilingual? How do I learn English, right? And they just don't know what to do. And I'm like, hey, I know what to do. I know what to do. I know how to do it. But you gotta listen. You literally gotta listen, and you got to listen and do it though. That's the thing. And so when I explain step by step how to learn a second language, it's like, are you listening? You've got to talk to 1,000 people. And it's just like, well, I don't want to talk to 1,000 people. I'm scared. Therefore, I'm just going to watch another fucking video. It's like, all right, well, you watch another video and you're not going to get better. You got to get out there and talk to people. It's the irony. You're at the irony bridge. だってこれ言動やろ? You're at the irony bridge. I, I want to make a legend out of this ね。だから、Iron Knee Bridge。だって、漫画作りたいんだけどね。なんか、言動っていう漫画。で、俺、まあ、その漫画のバックグラウンドキャラクター、集役は君でしょ？違うか。それで、まあ、今、Irony Bridge にいる。there's a big iron knee. Get it? And then the irony guy, he kind of protects you from crossing the bridge. Okay, cool. Have an awesome day. Yeah, take it easy. There's only so much I could talk about before we finally lose the plot, right? So I know I should publish books, but here's the thing, like the app. No app, no zap. You know what I mean? Like I will definitely publish a book. I'm gonna publish a coloring book. Seriously, because you think about it, like kids, books, coloring, it's a win, win-win. Like seriously, win じゃなくて win. I could make a coloring book like that. Like there's like bot, bat. So you color in the picture of the bot with the green color, right? And then you color in the picture of the bat with the red color. Like I've got the whole coloring book just like totally dialed in. Just can't do it without an app because at the end of the day, you know, there's only so much I can give, guys. Like, helping people is a fine balance between like economy and charity, because like genuine charity is when you just help somebody, but then you get into like capitalism and they're like, well, yeah, I'll help you for a price, you know and so I've been really trying to find the value in my time, you know like I can help you, I really can. And if you just did what I said, you'd benefit. And a lot of what I say could be, written in a book, but the irony is that you're not going to learn anything by reading a book. You got to listen. So maybe I can do an audio book. But just like anything else, you buy an audiobook, So I can make an audiobook and then I can just be like, hey, the secret to life, $10. Like literally, like for $10, I'll teach you everything. And then, it's like, well, I could go over and get this textbook for $47, right? I'm like, yeah, 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 you could do that as well. But this one's $10, like take it or leave it. So it's like, yeah, I could put it up there and like just like, but that's what I'm saying, that the book is an idea, but like my app is better because what I'm giving you is a tool, not a book, right? Like a book just kind of like gives you information, but what I have, like, it's beyond a book. It's like an interactive book. I'm giving you a fucking dictionary uh, encoded in the color system. Like it is beyond all books become my book. Because there's a algorithm. I'm not going to get into the technical aspects of the app, but basically we have the engine in it called Oracle, and the Oracle can translate any book into color, English color, or as English HD. So basically every book in the English language becomes our book, if that makes any sense. So I don't have to write a book. All books are already written because of Oracle. It's really hard to explain, but basically, I could possibly create a app just like Kindle, and any book that you get gets colored in English HD. But that's just for a developer to develop. I can't develop it, but I got to pay a developer. So, like, again, the irony. But yeah, I will definitely be making a book app in the future where you can read all books in. You just tap it and the color comes up, right? So, um, you know, uh, the beautiful, beautiful idea, right? I wonder if you've solved if your color would also work to color blind to. I wonder if you have solved if your code would also work to color blind people. Oh yeah, so the colorblind people, we just had to skip it, unfortunately. Uh, there, uh, there probably would be a way to create a colorblind version, color spectrum, but we would need to consult with the colorblind color field spectrum experts. And they probably cost money, so you just have to basically um, prioritize how you spend money, and we determined that we just don't have enough money to hire somebody until the app is making enough money. So again, the irony is that we basically gave our time and our brains for free to make the app. Like me and Max behind the scenes really did a lot of research into making the app. And it's a really deep conversation, but we have the green category, the red category, the blue cat. Everything is on purpose. Everything is designed to be easy to understand. And yeah, the colorblind issue was like one of those issues where like, okay, technically we should, but it's a complicated issue to solve right now. Neither of us have the specialty to learn it. Basically, like we're just not. Uh, there's specialists out there that know more about the subject than we do, and you just simply hire them. However, the size of the market of colorblind people is small, so it's just like とりあえずごめんなさいって感じですね。でも、we could eventually, yes, make a colorblind version that would be the colors would be slightly different. You just hit a switch. But, maybe ChatGPT could create it for me. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see, but we'll get there. Why does British sound so cool? It's a very interesting question. I don't know. It sounds a bit exotic. And if you've ever watched enough TV, you'll notice that a lot of the fantasy and the documentary and history channel kind of shows and fantasy shows and whatnot, they all use a British accent, and there is a bit of mystery and fantasy involved with it. So even to my ear, it sounds like a magician is talking every time you hear a British accent or the Queen, because at the end of the day, I only listen to British accents through, how do you say, entertainment. And so it's a very entertaining quality to it for sure. But when I hear a British accent in reality, it's just like, oh, look at that chump over there. I don't even know if they say chump over there or not, but they have words for it. Look at that wank over there. He's from Birmingham. I can tell by his accent. I'm not that good at understanding the accent. So like, I don't even know if I'm doing it right. So I don't do it because it probably sounds horrible. Any British people out there are probably puking right now. So yeah. All right. Yeah, that sounds like a good way to end it, Rocky Man. I gotta go. I gotta go as well because it's been an hour. I just again been blah blah blah. So coming around full circle to the answer, should I go back to Japan? Yes or no? Now that everybody's left, I'm just gonna talk to you guys since you guys were here all the way to the end. Should I go to Japan? Okay. Uh, wait, this week. Okay, there we go. So I'm just gonna ask everybody. It's a good question, I think, because good way to end the podcast because when you are a YouTuber, you can YouTube from anywhere, and that's like the beautiful thing about my job, and I'm very happy and excuse me, lucky to be doing what I'm doing. But basically, yeah, I'm just waiting for my app to get fixed, and in the meantime, I just need some place to wait, I guess, because I don't necessarily need to be in Thailand, and I don't necessarily need to be in Japan. You know what I mean? Like, there's a sense of like nothing really matters until the app is done. This is just my brain. So it's like I don't need to take video making too seriously because the app's not ready, you know? Like the I mean, again, I really believe that by me giving the app to everybody, this is like the most charitable thing I can do for you to help you to learn, right? So it's just like that's what I need to do. Yeah, no, Thailand is attractive, charming, and beautiful. It's just you know, my job, I got to work, right? Like, I wish that I could make travel videos. Those type of videos, where like it's like a travel video. I just, um, I just don't see why anybody would watch it. Like, if I was to do it, like, Kai senpai, 象乗りましたみたいなヘッドラインカイ先輩、ゾウと英語で話しました。Hey, buddy, give me that back. That would be kind of funny, not gonna lie. But like for me to take a risk and go make the video with me talking to an elephant, it's gonna cost me like $50 to like ride the elephant, right? And then if I make the video and nobody watches it, I just wasted my time. Even though it was fun to talk to the elephant, don't get me wrong, I'll have a blast, right? But it's like nobody watches the video, then like, why did I make a video? And I don't know if me riding an elephant would be popular enough with anybody. So, you know, what are you gonna do? But yeah, I would love to make travel videos. That's what I'm saying. Like, I've seen successful travel videos. There's like a million people watch this travel video, and you're just like, wow, I would love to make something like top 10 ramen places in Bangkok. And like, hey, これも美味しいね. I wish I could be like that lucky. すごいね、これ美味しいね。で、次のラーメン屋。次ラーメン、ラーメン、ラーメン。I don't know. Maybe people will watch it, maybe people won't. I don't know. 海鮮パイ、ひげかっこいいですね。 違うか。まあ、毛深いのがね、ちょっと嫌だね、実は。ね、なんか、髭剃んなきゃって感じ。I'm sorry、髭剃り。でも、まあ、お金があればね、あれやりたい。レーザーみたいなね。ここ、髭もなるからさ。これめんどくさい。ここと首だね。これはまあ、髭あってもいいんだけど、その形がね、なんか、ここに入っちゃうと、ちょっとなんかゴリラって感じがするからね。あの、チンパンジーみたいなのね。だからそれ嫌で、もうしっかりしてるみたいな、こうやってカットみたいな、ジョン・ウィックみたいなね、キアノ・リーブスみたいなヒゲかっこいいじゃんみたいなね。そういうヒゲやったらね、でもレーザーのところね、金があったらね、レーザーするね。いいね。That'd be cool. Anyway, you're watching something nice. Watching TV, comedy show. Nice. Eating udon. Nice for sharing. Thanks. Sounds like a dream come true. Kicking back and relaxing. But yeah, it all comes back full circle. Should I go back to Japan? Yes or no, guys? Like, basically, it's just like I have nothing to do because I'm basically I don't I have a lot of good ideas, and all of them involve promoting the app, which is the only thing I want to talk about. So it's just like, okay, I'm not going to make a video, I guess. So in the meantime, how can I do something? And so that's why I'm actually doing this live stream. But 日本に戻ってもさ、ライブストリームしても、それともなんか、東京で、なんか、ミートアップみたいな感じするか。ね、なんかイベントやれば、まあ、東京行けるかなって感じ。だって、ね、日本行っても意味あんのって感じですね。だって俺の仕事が動画だけだったら、じゃあ、まあ、どこでもいいんちゃうかって感じ。でも、誰かと会うんだったらね、まあね、日本人、特にね、じゃあ日本行った方がいいよねって感じ。でも行っても何するかって感じですね。なんか会議やる Teacher like? って何？Do you like ramen? Of course. Who doesn't like ramen? 桜見ました。桜まだ見てないですね。それもちょっと見に行きたかったけどね、もう何年ぶり。8年ぶりって感じ？桜って。でも、そうだね。まだね。まあ、だからちょっと日本でも時間過ごしてもいいかなって感じですね。だからまあ、日本帰るかな。え水曜日木曜日ね、とりあえず。でも、いつまでにいるかわかんないよね。まあ、着いてから決めようかなって感じですね。日本に。ね、やることがあるんだったら、あればなんかやるんやけどね。まあ、follow my heart ね。でも、my heart って、ま、the app. Because once I have the app, then I just start working and making the videos that I wanna make, you know? But without the app, it's just like, どうしよう。暇って。そういう暇の気持ちは良くないじゃん。ね。俺どうしても、I really wanna make these videos too. Like, I want to. Like, I actually am excited to talk about the app and stuff like that, but it's just hard to talk about it because basically, I could do it. Like, I could do it right now, but もう1時間経ったし、then I'll just do it next week って感じ。わかるかな？Not that I will talk about it, but I just want everybody to download it first, right? So anyway, uh, yeah, yeah. I thought about taking the TOEIC test. That's a good idea. カイ先輩の TOEIC スコアは700。いや、600できると思うよ、俺。もう俺ならできると思う。Yeah, just follow my heart. I know it's just following my heart is what I've been doing for kind of for the past year, but it becomes a almost beautiful story, almost a tragic story. But the app was completed a year and a half ago. We finished the app, and like, that was me following my heart because as a YouTuber, as a teacher, I'm trying to think of the best way to explain everything. Like I really think that my teaching method is really good and it really should be shared with everybody. But how do you get people's attention? How do you get people to pay attention? How do you keep people's attention? Basically, like, look, like this is how you do it. Step one, you got to listen, right? Step two, you got to mimic, and then step three, you just got to rehearse. It's that easy. I just gave out the secrets right there. Like, if you understood what I just said, then there is no question what you do next. You just do it. You listen, you listen, you listen, you mimic, you mimic, you mimic, and then you get out there and you have conversations with people. And then every single time you don't understand, you pull out my app. It's so simple. Like that's the method. And like even I swear, I was in Vietnam and I was walking home along the beach. And of course, I don't know anybody in Vietnam, right? But this guy walks up to me. He's like, "Hey, I want to practice English." I'm like, "Oh, dude, I'm the last guy you want to talk to in English about, but like, okay, follow me." So we start talking, and then of course he says something. I don't understand what he said. I'm like, "Oh, dude, what did you just say?" And he was trying to say landscape, but he couldn't make the pronunciation of landscape, right? So I was like, "Hey, I have an app, and I'm explaining this to a Vietnamese guy. But if you use this app, you can look up any word and get the color code. So you can learn how to say this word correctly. Because I'm telling you, dude, the way you said landscape, I didn't understand it. And I'm doing you a favor right now by being honest with you. Like this is what I want to say to him. 正直に、君の発音が悪いんだよって感じですね。そのベトナム人に聞き取れなかったからね。もう逆に俺、ベトナム英語慣れてないね、どっちが悪いか分かんないけど、もし君が英語で喋りたかったらね、我々はね、なんかランドスケープみたいな言い方じゃなくて、ランドスケープって言うんですよね。だから、まあ、勉強した方がいいと思いますね。まあ、先生か先輩か分かんないけど、君のこと知らないし、みたいな正直本音的に、ね、俺コミュニケーションできればね、君の発音がちょっとおかしいんだよみたいなね。で、俺のアプリね、単語1個ずつ調べて、その単語の発音のトレーニングできますよ。ね。本当に役に立つと思う。役に立つと思うから、ぜひダウンロードしてくださいみたいな、まあ、セールズアピールみたいな感じやけど、ね。でも、it's a free app. So anyway, what I'm saying is in reality, I'm now having experiences where I'm like, oh, you should download my app. Like, I'm not even trying to make a video. I'm just trying to be helpful. You know what I mean? To like actual people that I'm actually talking to. It's like, oh no, you should really download my app. It will really help you. And if you really want to learn the color system, there's some lessons as well. You don't have to do it. It's an option, right? So I just have this like dream, I guess, of helping people. And I would hope that a certain amount of people want to actually buy the lessons because the lessons are unique. I mean, you want to learn the color system? I created a series of videos that will teach you the color system. You know, um, you want to learn to speak more like a Californian? I created a series of listening lessons that help you speak more like a Californian. And like if you see value in that, like then awesome. Like I would be happy to like teach you, when you're gonna get it, but it's an option. So it's like at the bare minimum, a million people could like download the app and then search up a word, and you can learn the color system without getting the lessons. You just have to be really focused and figure it out. But it's like, hey, if you really want to learn it backwards and forwards, you just get the video course, right? You just learn it. And so one of the comments that I got from somebody was that he had been studying other famous YouTubers' pronunciation course, and he listed a few people's names, and I was like, "Oh wow!" But he said using the color code. was easier to understand than all the other courses you used before. And look, this is not me saying that. This is a person that I do not know who downloaded my app and they were giving me a feedback, like a comment, like a review basically. And he's saying it's easier to understand than the other courses. And so it's like, oh boy, I know. I know. That's why we made it. We made it to be easy to understand. So we're going to be talking about this app a lot in the future. Again, I guess it's just we're just killing time, aren't we? Everybody, yeah, no, this is just where I'm at. Like it is what it is. Like I basically do want to make a lot of videos, but I don't want to make any good videos, if you know what I mean, because I'm waiting for the app to get finished. So it's what can I do in the meantime? And what I can do in the meantime is have a live stream with you guys where I give you real world, actual English that's not fake, it's not scripted, and ideally not too salesy either, because, at the end of the day, it just depends on what your goals are. You really seriously want to do English? Like, if you guys seriously want to do English, I'll just put this at the end. Like, I've basically opened up a little bit of time. I've got one person in April, but I'll just go ahead and offer it here because you guys have been paying attention. But basically, my schedule, I've just opened up about two more slots. But I really think that in order for you guys to get better at English, right, is you got to talk to 1,000 people. A lot of people really have trouble finding one person to talk to. And I can say again and again and again, just go outside, go to a cafe, go to a train station, go to a shrine. I can say it 1,000 times, but for whatever reason, some people can't do that. Maybe they live in the countryside, maybe they're too busy, maybe I don't know. There's just reasons that are outside of my imagination that I can't understand. But sometimes people are like, no, I need to do some sort of like online lesson just because I'm so busy, for example, work Monday through Friday, the kids and whatever. I don't have time to go outside and like find somebody to practice with. So therefore, it is easier to do some sort of Zoom lesson, right? And so that made sense to me, even though I don't believe in it, if that makes any sense, right? Like, yeah, like I get it. You're just busy. You need somebody to talk to. You need somebody that can help focus on pronunciation and stuff with. But like, perhaps, yeah, you just need a Zoom lesson. So what I just did was I put a link up. If you guys want to do an English lesson on Zoom, it can't be free, guys, because like if I get 20 people taking up my time, what I'm doing is offering 3 times a week for 4 weeks. So a total of 12 lessons. And so basically, by having consistent 12 lessons 3 times a week for 4 weeks, I will guide you to get better with your English, right? If you need practice just talking, I will give you that practice and talk with you, right? If you need practice with pronunciation, I'll tell exactly what things you need to get to work on in your pronunciation. I'll notice the habits that you have, coffee yori coffee だね, boxing yori boxing だね. Like I can really help you with specific things that you're working on in your pronunciation because I think a lot of people just don't get honest feedback. And so I can provide that honest feedback. And basically, that's it. I'll teach you like the real way to say things and I'll try to keep it real with you. One of the things that why I don't like English schools is that they stick to a book and the teacher talks to you in a fake way. And a lot of teachers who teach English never learned a second language. 母国語しかできない英語の先生、ちょっと信用できないね、俺。だって、どうやってバイリングルになったのって、いや、英語しかできないですよ、みたいな言われたら、え第二言語の勉強したことないんですかみたいな。じゃあ、わかんないじゃん。なんか英語を勉強してるじゃなくて、どうやってバイリングルになるかっていう勉強ですね。カイ先輩と一緒に勉強するかって。So, basically, yeah, I will I'm like the best teacher you could possibly get. Does that make sense? Like, because I think about it, like I'll look at other 日本人の YouTuber、英会話 YouTuber ね。で、その人たちもなんかレッスンやってるらしいよね。ね。キャナダに住んでるやつとか、まあ、日本の人でも、まあ、レッスンしてるらしいよね。日本人の英会話 YouTuber ね。で、俺、いつも思うんだけど、なんかまあ、君たちはどうやってバイリングルになったのって。ね。日本人と話してバイリングルになったの？いや、違いますね。英語ネイティブの人と話してからバイリングルになったでしょ。ね。だから、君たちが、本当にバイリングルになりたかったらね、英語ネイティブと話した方がいいと思うんだよね。日本人の YouTuber よりね。で、まあ、日本人の YouTuber のレッスンとか結構あるから、なんだろうね。なんか安いからそっち行ってんの？違うか。わかる？言いたいこと。だって直接英語ネイティブから学んだ方がいいんじゃないですか。じゃあなんでそっち行ってんのって感じですね。まあ、俺本当に不思議だなと思うんだけどね。直接英語ネイティブからね、英語を学んだ方がいいんだけど、なんで英語ネイティブじゃない人と一緒にレッスンしてるんですかねって感じですね。まあまあまあまあ。値段、価値、わかんない。わかんない。本当にわかんない。でも、俺もうできるんですよ。ちょっとだからスケジュール開きましたね。だから、2人ぐらいね、beautiful beard or beautiful bard どっちですね。beautiful beard だったらこれだね。Oh, why do you have such a long trunk? That would be a cute video. Um, but anyway, guys, again, if you guys want to do a little man to man kind of thing, because basically, uh, again, I have room in my schedule for two people. I can do that. It's not going to be a big deal. It's just going to be a temporary thing. And yeah, if you guys want to do it, just go over to that link that I just shared in the chat thing and you get access to my schedule. Like, I'm going to dedicate myself to you getting better, so that's going to take a lot of my focus and energy, and therefore you can see the options that are available if you click that link, if you know what I mean, because as they say, time is money, money is time. And I can make 1,000 free videos just like I'm doing right now. None of them are really going to help you other than you getting listening practice right now. But if you truly want to go to the next level, you got to actually have a conversation with somebody in real time. You really have to. That's the only way. There's no avoiding it. You cannot avoid it. You cannot avoid it. You cannot avoid it. It's the end of the game. The boss is the boss of 1,000 faces, and you must defeat him. And how do you defeat him? You do it by saying hi. And you keep chopping away with every word, every sentence that you can until you get this sensation of satisfaction as you actually have a conversation in English. And then you'll stop fighting. You'll put your hands down. You'll be like, oh, chop, 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 chop. Wait a second. I'm having a conversation in English with a real person. I feel like I'm communicating and I feel like that I can hear what they're saying and understand it. I don't need to study English anymore. And you wake up and you graduate. Isn't that amazing? I seriously think you guys watch too many lessons. And ironically, as I offer you a lesson, I say it because, like, I hope it's your last. There just comes a point when you need to graduate from school, guys. Get out of a classroom, get away from a teacher, and go out and talk to people. I'll say it a thousand times, but got to get out there and talk to people. So, as I've been rambling on for like over an hour, I think it's time for me to go outside and talk to people in the streets of Bangkok. We'll see. It says 71% of you say I should go back to Japan, so maybe I should. And what I should do? Oh no, 30% say no. My gosh, this is kind of a joke, but I should not go? Okay, I'll just stay in Thailand. But then, why am I staying in Thailand kind of thing? It's like, well, it's affordable, right? Japan's kind of expensive. Like, I don't know. We'll see. It just really depends on a lot of different things. And in the meantime, none of the things really matter until the app is done anyway. So it's just like, okay, maybe I'll just go back to Japan. So, guys, anyway, beautiful beer. I want to drink it. Amazing. So, teacher, drink beer. Yeah, of course. Who doesn't? So, guys, thanks for listening. I'm going to consider everything about should I go to Japan or not? Should I just stay here or not? Doesn't matter. We'll see what happens. We'll go with the flow. Try not to think about too much, and let's just see what happens because it's going to be nothing but good things happening as soon as I get the app done, as far as I'm concerned, because you guys are going to get a lot of content and it's going to be cool. And I really can't wait for you guys to be holding the app in your hand so you can be looking up words as they happen in real time and you can kind of really learn in real time because that's really all you need to learn English is a dictionary. I swear to God. And I just have a very cool dictionary that will teach you the sounds of English that you've never heard them before because you get to use your eyes and your ears as you're learning, as you're listening. So yeah, again, I'm so frustrated because the app's not done yet. Well, unless it because we just uploaded it. Oh wait, look, I do have a notification from the developer. All of you guys hanging in here at the last minute. So okay, it looks like I need to talk to my developer guy because he asked me a question about the flashcards. Apparently, Apple is saying that like the VIP access. So anyway, we're testing the app right now to make sure that it works in time for download, so that when everybody downloads it, it works, right? But apparently, Apple says there's a few bugs with it. I gotta fix it. So he's like, I don't understand what's broken, and I know he's gonna ask for more money. So hey, whatever. Okay, like I just need to fix the app. So anyway, sake じゃないよね。sake って言うんですよね。はい。Anyway, guys, take it easy. Good one. Maybe I'll upload tomorrow. But, as soon as the app's done, you'll hear about it. But thanks for sticking around. And if you guys do want to see Instagram, although I don't have too many photos over there, but like you can follow the story on Instagram, and that's the Instagram handle right there for anybody that's actually curious. Let's go ブログだって旅ブログだったらね、なんか TikTok とかね、お寺とかね、タイ料理とかさ、まあみんなそういう動画見たことあるでしょ。ね、海先輩やっても意味なくないって。まあでもその象と英語で話す動画が、まあ可愛いって感じです。想像できるけどね。結局、誰も見てくれなかったらね、なんか寂しいじゃん。ね。まあまあまあまあ。Collectors was safe and sound. Oh, I know about the safe and sound. Don't you worry. It's safe and sound because, like, I know how to get myself out of sticky situations in a conversation. But yeah, it's just a matter of like how I could just be useful in the meantime because it just I feel so uh, existential dread because yeah, it's just weird. It's like if I had the app ready, I could be just making videos in Thailand, but the app's not ready, so I can't do that. So I'm just stuck basically, and that stuck feeling just really hurts my brain. So in the meantime, all right, guys, Daisy, I want to do the lesson. Like I said, I put up the link. It's in the description, and you can check it out. So when you come today, we'll see. We're gonna keep it mysterious. How about that? Let's go with the flow, and it's best that you not know because this is the Kai Senpai show. Take it easy. That was a good ending, right? It was pretty cool. All right, guys, have a good one. Peace out. Thank you so much for listening. And, I hope that somebody out there learned something.